I'm very hungry. Like, I'm just about to do this video and go get something to eat very quickly because now, when I'm hungry, I get moody. Do you feel the same? Am I alone that feels that way? Like, I get really, really short-tempered. And not like I'm going to beat somebody up, but I have very short answers. Like, that story I told you, I'm like, yeah, that's when I'm hungry. I don't. It's hungry and cold. I hate being hungry. I hate being cold. You're not going to get the best version of me. Okay, talking about hunger. Okay, what do you do when you're hungry? Well, the Japanese have come up with something very interesting. That's not very costly. It's the shit burger. Yeah, you heard me right. So they've come up with a process to basically extract protein out of your excrement. Okay, I'm going to try to use another word so we don't get censored. They take it to the lab, work with it, they pull protein out of it. Apparently, it's not just, it's got protein, a lot of protein in it, and they use it, so they need to recycle. You know, you eating meat all the time will create, I'm not even supposed to say the name, you know, when the world gets warmer. Yeah, the more meat you eat, the more the world gets warmer. It gets hotter. The more the world gets warmer and hotter, the more you have high smelting. The more the high smelt, you have higher sea level. Higher sea level, you have water going through the land. Then you get tsunamis. Then you get fire burning into mountains in the forest, like the earth shaking and many other things. So, okay, we don't know how accurate that is. I'm not a scientist, but we just have to believe what they say. So the strategy is to get you to eat less meat, or at least find an alternative to meat, because apparently the meat that you have, all these cows and stuff, the more they fart, the more the world gets hotter. Then the ice melt and the water rises and things get crazy. So let's watch this guy. Japanese scientist came up with something very interesting to replace your meat. No need to cows anymore. You just go to the toilet, get your, and they process it and they make a very nice burger out of it. Watch this.
Professor Ikeda has invented the first steaks based on proteins from human excrement.
The sewage muds contain a great deal of protein. There's lots of protein. He calls it the sewage muds, not the muds contain so much protein. You're wasting protein. Let's get back to protein. It's not even your own protein. You're getting somebody else's protein. Yuck. I know some of you thought I was lying.
Sewage mud is rich in protein because it is alive with bacteria. These bacteria are harmless because they are killed by heat during the manufacturing process.
The bacteria are harmless because they're killed by heat during the manufacture. So don't worry.
The red color is obtained by using food coloring. The artificial steak, according to initial tests, even tastes like beef.
Tastes like beef, I mean, pure beef.
In fact, to refine the flavor, Professor Ikeda adds soy protein. It's 63% protein, 25% carbohydrates, 3% lipids.
63% protein. That's a lot of protein. You could even use it to do bodybuilding and get big muscles, 66% protein from your... God.
And 9% minerals to make one turd burger.
It's interesting, he calls it the mud, not the but the mud. You gotta call it a clean name so it's acceptable. The mud.
で、タンパク質を取り出して最後に反応補助剤を加えて、反応装置エクスプローダーにかけて人工肉を作っています。
Professor Ikeda believes the main problem is the psychological barrier.
確かに人間が出したものだということに対してですね、だからそれを食べたいという人は多分あまりいないんじゃないかなというふうに思っています。この人工肉を作るためのコストに関しては研究費という点で言ったら確かに今の段階では普通に売られているお肉の やっぱり何十倍か何百倍するかもしれません。
Real meat is 10 to 20 times more expensive. This is cheaper. So get your psychological barrier down, you know?
ただこの研究がきちっと完成した段階で実際に販売するとなったら
Fellas, like you can see, this is what it is, fellas. This is the world we're living in. It's very interesting. Science moving very, very fast. I know people like, you know, science and new things in the world. I don't believe everything new is good for the human. I don't think every knowledge should be used. I don't think so. Okay, there are many, many things. The growing cells now. Do you know the growing cells now out of human stuff? There is a video I saw, and I cannot tell you whether this is authentic or not. There's a video online about a British company growing burgers from human cells.
Used to that environment, right?
There's a huge problem with fish supplies around the world. Could that be developed? What did it taste like?
Close to meat. It's not that juicy, but the consistency is perfect.
The absence is, I feel like the fat. You know, like it's a leanness.
I'm sure you heard about stories of growing meat from animal cells. You know, it's not the real animal. You just take cells, take it to the lab, make it grow until it becomes meat. You heard of that story? It's called your genetically built meat, whatever you call that thing. They call it the white meat, clean meat. The goal of the clean meat, as per the investors, is to get you to use less cows, less sheep and goats. We want to get you to get naturally get cells. They'll take cells from these cows, put it in a lab, let it nurture and grow into meat. And there is a company from the country that you don't name that's been pioneering this. They received millions of dollars into this. You know, yeah. And the company exists. And the goal of even the guy that creates the most computers, you don't name him. The guy that owns computers, okay? He was one of the participants, one of the investors, because he believes the future should be around clean meat. Eating too much meat is bad. And because, yeah, that's warming the globe and there's water rising and there are going to be problems in the future. Those are the same people that are going to Kenya saying, well, we need to have this summit with the French president, the summit to change the economy, change the financial institution, change, and think about global, yeah.
I agree with you. I want a global taxation. This is my point.
You're saying is good, but it's not what you're saying.
I love having bold people, and I take the point.
It's the same people. They don't want you to eat meat because meat is not just bad for you. Meat is unclean. Meat creating heat, and the heat's creating water to rise, and the water creating... Yeah, that's the crazy shit they want to do to you. Now they're also sponsoring meat out of your mud, your shit. Basically, it doesn't smell bad, apparently. So you need to be aware of what's happening. I think it's very interesting. In the UK, they have, like I said, a video. I cannot tell you whether this is authentic or not. They have meat out of human cells. Where did they get the cells? I don't know. Did they go to the graveyards to get the... I don't know. But that's what we're seeing on TV, online. And I'm not saying everything you see online is correct. I'm saying thinking that everything you're seeing online is incorrect is also being just as stupid.
Well, I think most people just don't realize that the current meat production is at its maximum, and it's not going to supply sufficient meat for the growing demand in the coming 40 years. So we need to come up with an alternative, there's no question. And this can be an ethical and environmentally friendly way to produce meat.
As a person that believes that everything they see is real. So you need to stay on your guard and understand where we're going. This is insane. I don't understand why people want to change the world. We were all born, we found humans eating meat. I don't necessarily agree to that. Like, yeah, people eat meat, people do. Why do you want to change it? Why do you want to give people limitations? Like, for how many years does this world exist? Are you telling me only now the world cannot hold it anymore, that people are eating meat? You know, and the cows are farting. Like they started doing this long time ago. Let me know how you feel about this. Is this progress? Is this something you would consider? Or this is just a psychological barrier because they say it's harmless. The bacteria are dead. They're going to smell it. They're going to pump it with odorants to give it flavor, make it look and sound nice. Let me know how you feel about it. It's always a great pleasure. God bless.